Hi everybody, good to be with you again today. Want to just kind of tell you something I did yesterday. I'm involved in the local snowmobile club, and one of the things we do is we put up trail signs and take them down, and I'm kind of in charge of a particular section of the trails to do that. So yesterday was our day, or my day, to go out and take down all the signs that we had put up through the year. And it was really, if you're a snowmobile enthusiast, it was a really rough year. We put up the signs, you put a lot of work into it, and we're taking them down yesterday. It's just kind of it's almost a sad moment when I think about it, because the season's over and it wasn't a great season, and you've kind of lost all that fun and what you were able to do during the winter. In fact, I think it was so bad. We're good friends with Nick and Mary Linsenbigler, and they have at their house, they have this little plaque that has on each side of it, it has summer on one and winter and spring and fall on it, and she rotates it based on the season, so it says what season it is. And usually she'll text me and say, "Hey, look, Keith, winter's over, it's spring," and she'll show me that thing flipped over. I think she felt so bad for us this year that she didn't even send me a pic to remind me that winter was over and it's spring already. But when I was thinking about this, is I was taking down the trail signs, and for me it's kind of depressing. For some of you, you're probably very excited about it. But I thought, you know what? Next year, the feeling of taking down the signs that we're having right now is different. Next year come December, it's like, hey, I mean, now there's hope. Everything is new. There's new hope. There's new excitement. There's a chance you're going to have a lot of snow this winter. So everything to me just seemed like it's going to be new. It's going to be exciting. At that point in time, you have that hope of it being like that. And I began to think of a Bible verse where Christ said something regarding everything is new. And I'm going to read it to you, and then I'm actually going to read the passages before and after it. But it's found in Revelation 21:5, and it says this: "He who was seated on the throne said, 'I'm making everything new.'" And then he said, write this down, because these words are actually trustworthy and true. Let me tell you the words that were before it that John was told to write down by Christ. The words in chapter 21 verse 1, they talk about something that is new. He said, "Then I saw," John says, "I saw in this vision I had a new heaven and a new earth, because the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. There was no longer even any sea. And I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride, beautifully dressed for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, 'Look, God's dwelling place is now among the people, and he will dwell with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them, and he will be their God. He's going to wipe every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death, or mourning, or crying, or pain, for the old order of things has passed away.'" And that's when we get to verse 5 that says, well, he was seated on the throne, said, I'm making everything new. Write this down, because these words are trustworthy and true. And verse 6, he says, "And he said to me, 'It's done. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I will give water without cost from the spring of the water of life. Those who are victorious will inherit all of this, and I will be their God, and they will be my children.'" Now the next couple verses actually give the opposite of that, where he says, there's hope. I mean, I'm making all things new, and it's going to be new, and it's going to be wonderful. In my snowmobile terms, it would be like him saying, hey, you're going to have so much snow, you're going to be snowmobiling all winter next year. Even better than that, for those of you who can't stand the cold, it would be like what Christ is saying, it's going to be so great, it'll be 75 in snow, and you can do all of that. Okay, maybe a little bit better even than that when he talks about man, I'm making everything new. This is the new heaven, the new earth, and what my children are going to receive is going to be so incredibly good. But the next two verses really do talk to all people who are not children of Christ. It says this: the cowardly, the unbelieving, the vile, the murderers, the sexually immoral, those who practice magic arts, the idolaters, and really anybody that's a liar, they're actually going to be consigned to the fiery lake of burning sulfur. It's the second death. The reality is, I suppose we all fit into those categories of being a liar or being somebody who is vile or other things that are listed there, and we really do. But the really great part about Christ for each one of us that's a believer is this: He's making everything new. That's what Christ is doing for each one of us. If you believe in Jesus Christ as your God, He's making everything new. And we right now are in a time that's a lot worse than taking down trail signs and realizing the snowmobile season is over. We're in a time when some of us are restricted home and we wonder about economics and what's going to happen and what's going on. And we recognize this. As a follower of Christ, He's making everything new. It's coming. And stick with that. Keep your mind on that. Christ is making everything new. And He's doing that to give you a place and a hope forever. Starting now, but going on forever. Let that just kind of sit on you today and provide for you the hope to get you through today. God bless you.